many books did I even read this month? Let me count. Should we count? Let's count. I read 21 books this month. Wow, I'm amazing. Looks like the 4th of July. Hello my shitty face, hello my besties. It is officially time for, why was I gonna say October wrap up? What month are we in? We're in September, so this is August's wrap up. Okay, I'm a little late, but listen, I was finishing up 2 books that I really wanted to include in this wrap up, which is why I'm late. So blame that, like don't blame me. I'm never at fault. As usual with these wrap-ups, I am basically going to go through all the books I read. I am going to tell you a little bit about them and what I rated them, what I thought. No spoilers in any of these videos. I read so many books, but for some reason, like, I don't have any of the physical copies with me. I mean, I know the reason. It's because I mailed it to myself. And they haven't arrived yet. You don't care. You don't care. The first book I read in August is If We Disappear Here. Now listen, the reason why I read this book is because people said that if you like Still Beating, you'll like this book. And Still Beating is literally one of my favorite books of all time. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna love this. This basically follows 2 people that get kidnapped together, which is essentially the plot of Still Beating, which is why people compared it to that. But these people don't know each other. They basically wake up in this dungeon, in this room, and they're locked in there together, these complete strangers, and they were kidnapped. And they're like, what the fuck? Why are we here? What's our connection? Who kidnapped us? And these 2 people know nothing about each other. So they start getting to know each other in this horrible environment. Anyway, I hated this. I really, really did. I kept expecting the book to get good and it just did not. I finished it somehow because I was intrigued by what was going to happen. First of all, the reason why they're stuck in there pisses me off. Like, I hated it. Them being married to other people pisses me off because I'm like, how are you gonna fall in love? I did like that they had time. Like, I thought it was gonna be a short amount of time, but it was like 9 months that they were stuck in there. So it was quite some time for them to get to know each other. Still, I don't like it. I'm not a fan of the fact that they had other significant others, you know? And it just felt like the same thing kept happening over and over and over again. Like the book just kept going, but nothing was happening, nothing new, you know? So I just really was not a fan. It's not a 1-star for me because I didn't DNF it, and there were some redeemable points. Like, I did like their relationship. I liked the fact that it had some time, like 9 months for them to get to know each other, like I said. But other than that, no. 2 stars. This is not like Still Beating at all. If you like Still Beating, no. No, don't go into this expecting it to be like that because it was not. Next, I read Her Soul for Revenge and Soul of a Witch by Harley LaRue. This is a trilogy, so it's Her Soul to Take, Her Soul for Revenge, and then Soul of a Witch. It's basically all paranormal dark romances. It follows these demons and this cult in a small town. It's so fucking good. This trilogy is one of my favorites. Her Soul to Take is definitely my favorite in the trilogy. These are all dual POV and these all follow different couples. If you wanted to read them as standalones, you definitely could, but I would highly recommend reading them all because they're all so good. But Her Soul to Take is my favorite. That one can just not be topped. But Her Soul for Revenge follows Zane and Juniper, and basically he is a demon helping her get revenge on the cult that tried to sacrifice her. And then Soul of a Witch follows Callum and Everly, and he is an archdemon, the most powerful of all, and he's helping her destroy said cult, and she's a witch. These were both so fucking good. I definitely would say my ranking is Her Soul to Take at #1, and then Soul of a Witch, and then Her Soul for Revenge. They're all very spicy. They're all very dark. Search up your trigger warnings. They're amazing. I have no fucking words. Why this series is not more talked about is beyond me. Please read it. Please read it. Her Soul to Take, by the way, I didn't read it this month, but it follows Leon and Ray, and they're my favorites. Yes, yes, yes. I don't know what it is about them, but it just gets me. Just gets me. Anyway, I will be reading more books by Harley LaRue. I will be reading The Loser's Duet because I just adore her writing. The way she explains things, I think is what I really, really enjoy. Like, in this book right here, Soul of a Witch, there's hell and there's like a coven house, like a magic coven house, and I felt like I was there. Like, I felt like it was real places that I was in because of the fact that she explains it so well, and she gives enough detail where you are there, but not enough detail to where you're bored. Anyway, I love Harley LaRue. I love these books. Yes, 1000% yes. I rated Her Soul for Revenge 4.25, and I rated Soul of a Witch 4.5, and I'm rereading Her Soul to Take right now as we speak. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I have a huge TBR, but yeah, I'm rereading, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to change that one to 5 stars because I just love it so much. But that's besides the point. The next books I'm going to talk about are all in my dark romances for a week video, so I'm not going to spend too much time talking about them because I have already exhausted all my thoughts on these books, okay? So if you want to go see it, watch that video. But I read the Legacy of God series by Rena Kent. So it's God of Malice is number 1, and then you have God of Pain, and then you have God of Wrath, and lastly this one just came out. It's God of Ruin. All of them, again, can be read as standalones, but I would recommend reading them all because the found family is so good. Like, you get to know all the characters so well, and it just makes it more fun to get crumbs of all the future characters and stuff like that. I don't know what Rena can't put in this universe, y'all. It has to be crack because I could not stop reading. I read it so fast. I'm obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it. God of Malice is definitely my favorite. This one follows Killian and Glenn. Then you have God of Pain that follows Creighton and Annika. God of Wrath follows Jeremy and Cecily. And then God of Ruin follows Landon and Mia. The only one I did not vlog is God of Ruin because that one just came out. God of Malice, I rated 5 stars. There's not a single thing wrong with this book, in my personal opinion. However, it's very dark. Please search up trigger warnings. Please search up trigger warnings for all of these. If you see the trigger warnings and you don't think they're for you, I completely understand that. Anyway, God of Malice, 5 stars. I love it so much. God of Pain, 4.25 stars. I liked it, but not as much as God of Malice. I loved the ending. The beginning and the middle kind of bored me. God of Wrath, iconic, 4.5 stars. It was very character-based. There wasn't a lot of plot, but I loved the characters, so I didn't care. And then God of Ruin, I rated this one 4 stars. Like I said, the only one I didn't vlog. So I think that this one was just too similar to the other ones. And since I read them back to back, I had the other one still fresh in my mind. Like, everything Landon did, Killian had done and Jeremy had done. This is literally a carbon copy of God of Wrath with God of Malice put together, you know? So I just was not impressed. I expected more. And also, if you're gonna say Landon is a psychopath, I would like him to have some psychopath tendencies, okay? Like, he was so sweet. He was so sweet. Psychopath where? Psychopath where? I refuse to find it. But I still rated it 4 stars just because I love the universe and all the crumbs from the future characters like Nikolai and Brandon, my favorites, and Eli and Ava, and like just the found family, the characters. I'm so obsessed with the universe that I still rated it 4 stars. But had this book been like a standalone part of anything else, I would have probably rated it 3 stars because, like I said, the plot was exactly like the other ones. But I love the universe so much that I just still had a good time, you know? So 4 stars for this one. But Killian Carson remains unbeatable to me. I love this book so fucking much. I love it so much. There is non-con. There is a lot of trigger warnings. Please search them up. The first 2 chapters, they're rough, okay? But once I threw my morals out the window, I loved it. But I know it's not for everyone. I completely get that. However, it is for me. I am a Killian Carson stan through and through. I'm a fan. I'm a stan. I'm an ambassador. Anyway, then I read Ruthless Creatures. This one is a small town mafia book. I'm pretty sure it's dual POV. And like, he literally comes to the small town that she's at to collect a debt and then ends up falling for her. It was very short. It was very quick. I enjoyed it. It was funny. It just didn't give me much, but I had a good time. So I rated it 3 stars. And then I read The Ritual for that same video, y'all. Yeah, so this book, I don't even know how to explain it. I really don't. It's basically, it's like picture frat guys, but make them criminals. And that's kind of this book. You have these people in college and basically they go through like a bunch of trials and shit to be a part of this very elite society. It's a secret society. And once you're in the society, you're basically like a god to everyone. Like, these are like politicians and like billionaires. I don't know. They're at the top of the food chain, okay? And then they can like take a woman to be theirs. Like, they can pick a woman and the woman is theirs. And it's basically the story of this guy and this girl. And he picks her to be his, I don't even know what it's called. The one? The chosen one? I think it's The Chosen? I think that's what it's called. I don't know. This book is all sorts of fucked up. I did not like it. I never judge anyone for what they read. So if you like this book, good for you. Like, my mom loves it. I just personally did not like it. It was also so long. It was literally like 500 pages of nothing. I swear I read like 5 books within this one book. And I just did not like the ritual aspect. I didn't like the characters all that much. I didn't like the like men are everything kind of vibe it gave. This was a 2-star for me. I still finished it somehow. I think just because I was filming that I finished it. And lastly, for that video, I read It Ain't Me Babe by Tilly Cole. It is a motorcycle club book. Like, literally, he's in a motorcycle club. She's in a cult. Dual POV. I know. This one was a toss-up for me. I had moments in this book that I absolutely loved. Like, there was one scene specifically that just absolutely tore my heart up. Like, my heart skyrocketed to the moon. None of that made sense, but I loved this scene, okay? And there were characters that I really liked, and there were things I really enjoyed, but then there was also so many things that I hated. I just was bored of the plot. I hated that the word bitch was used, I kid you not, like 180 times. And I know that in the glossary it literally says that like it's a term of endearment for them. Like, hold on. It literally says here, there you go, like old lady is women with wife status, bitch is a woman in biker culture, term of endearment. I get it, however, they used it so much. Like, I was so tired of Tilly Cole using the word bitch. I was so sick of it. By the end, I couldn't even look at the word anymore. I expected this to be Sons of Anarchy and it wasn't. But I still had a good time. It was fun. 3 stars. Then I read Hitched. This is literally a hitchhiker romance. This woman is driving and she picks up a hitchhiker and he happens to have just escaped jail, like literal prison. He is a killer and she puts him in her car and she's like, vroom vroom, let's go. And it's a dark romance. It was very quick. It was like 200 pages of pure chaos. Some of it was fun. Most of it was not. The spice was good. I just could not vibe with the fact that they fell in love so quick. It was very insta-lovey. The criminal aspect, I was fine with that. Like, you're a murderer, you're in prison, I don't care. But the fact that you fell in love so fast, I'm bored. Why are you in love 50 pages in? Do you even know each other? Do you even know each other? Like, she didn't even know his last name. So Hitched, I rated it 2 stars. I'm pretty sure search up trigger warnings. All these dark romances search up trigger warnings because every single one of them, you're gonna need it. And if you're gonna go into a dark romance, please, please make sure it's for you. This one was not for me, and that's okay. Another thing that I vlogged this month was the entire Fallen Men series by Gianna Darling. I'm pretty sure it's in order. No, it's not at all. No, it's not. Hold on. Hold on. It's gonna piss me off if they're not in order. Hold on. So this is a motorcycle club book as well. Wow, I read another motorcycle club. No wonder that I'm rewatching Sons of Anarchy. I was in a motorcycle kick this month. Anyway, here it is. Lessons in Corruption, Welcome to the Dark Side, Good Gone Bad, After the Fall, Inked in Lies, and Dead Man Walking. These all follow different couples, except for Lessons in Corruption and After the Fall. You can read them all as standalones if you'd like, except for these two. Like, if you're gonna read Lessons in Corruption, you have to read After the Fall because their story finishes up. And if you're gonna read After the Fall, you have to read Lessons in Corruption first because it's the same couple. Lessons in Corruption and After the Fall follows Cressida and King. After the Fall's dual POV, but Lessons in Corruption is not. It's only from her POV. And then Welcome to the Dark Side follows Lulu and Zeus, also dual POV. Good Gone Bad follows Harley and I don't remember his name. Leroy? Leonard? Lion. Lion? Leon? Lion. Whatever. It's dual POV. Anyway, and then Inked in Lies follows Nova and Lila, and Dead Man Walking follows Bia and Priest. Again, dual POV. Each of these has a different trope and follows different members of the MC. This series is definitely not for me. I loved King. I loved King. After the Fall was my favorite. That one was the one that I absolutely adored. And then I did love Priest in Dead Man Walking. This book was really, really good. But the rest? No. Inked in Lies was fun. But Welcome to the Dark Side, Good Gone Bad were definitely not my vibe, especially Welcome to the Dark Side. I feel like that's the most popular one. They met when she was 7 and he was 26. Like, it's like a 19-year age gap. I don't even know if my math is right, but they knew each other since she was little and they like wrote each other letters, and I just could not get behind the romance, y'all. I could not. Like, nothing happens until she's 18. No, she's 17 when something happens. This entire series gave me bad vibes. Like, everybody was so much older than the girls. Like, the guys were all at least 10 years older than the girls, besides King and Cressida, and they knew each other since they were kids. It's so weird. Like, the girls all knew them since they were like 5 to 10 years old, and they have been in love with them since that age. But the guys were all 10 years older. Ew. I don't know. I don't know. Gianna Darling, I don't know what you did here, but it was not for me. Besides King and Cressida, like I said, they're the exception. I adored them, and I will say, Inked in Lies, nothing happens until they're way of age. Like, she's like 24 and he's 30 something. So that one for me was okay too. And then Dead Man Walking, I loved the plot. Yeah, this series, you can go watch me read it and go through all sorts of emotions, but I did not love it. Lessons in Corruption, I rated 3.75. Again, King and Cressida, love them. Welcome to the Dark Side, I rated 2 stars. Some of the plot really, really was good. I don't want to spoil it for you, but some of it even had me tearing up. But overall, it's a no. Good Gone Bad was a 3 stars. I liked the fact that he was a cop and she was like the bad girl. I liked their dynamic. I don't remember anything else about it, but I rated it 3 stars. After the Fall, amazing. My baby, 4 stars, loved it. Inked and Lies, also really liked, 4 stars. I liked Nova and Lila a lot. And then Dead Man Walking. The plot in this one was really, really good. I loved Priest. I don't really care for Bia at all, but Priest was amazing. Then I read The Long Game by Elena Armis. I'm pretty sure this book literally came out today or this week at some point. This is dual POV and it follows Adeline and Cameron. She works for this football team in Miami and she sort of fights the mascot in the middle of a game and the footage goes viral, and so she has to leave Miami. She has to flee. Her dad is like, get out because you're causing the team too much chaos right now. Go to the small town and work for this small team that I got for you. And so she goes. She's like, okay, say no more. She packs her bags and goes to this town in the middle of nowhere, and then she notices that the football team she's supposed to help there, they're just little girls. And she's like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to manage little girls? And the coach for this little girls team happens to be Cameron, who is a retired player. Dual POV, slow burn, rom-com, very funny, very much Ted Lasso vibes. If you like Roy Kent, I think you'll love Cameron, and I love Roy Kent, so of course I loved Cameron. I rated this 4 stars. The only reason why it's not higher is because I just wasn't in the mood to read it, because I was in a dark romance kick. I don't think a rom-com was for me at the moment, but this book was so good. It's definitely my second favorite Elena book. Like, The Spanish Love Inception is #1, then The Long Game, and then The American Roommate Experiment. I had such a good time with this one. The slow burn was slow burning. Cameron was amazing. Adeline was so fun. And seeing their struggles by themselves and then seeing them come together, and the book was just fun. It just gave good vibes. Like, there's literally a goat in here with anxiety, and there are chickens. It reminded me a lot of like Heart of Dixie, like where the big city doctor goes to this small town and falls for the guy that's there. It's like that to me. Great vibes all around, 4 stars. Then I read Iced Out, which is an MM college hockey romance. Basically, these 2 guys knew each other in high school and they were rivals. They were part of rival teams. They hated each other. And then now they're in college and they're in the same team. And their team keeps losing. Their team literally is not doing well. And one night they're both at a party and they have some fun in the bathroom. And then the team starts winning. So of course they're like, we should keep doing this because the team's winning. So obviously it has something to do with what we did in the bathroom. This book was so fun and spicy. It was definitely a great palate cleanser between all the other books I was reading. There wasn't like too much going on, but in the best way. It's exactly what I needed at the time. I really liked the characters. It's dual POV. Again, not too much plot. Mostly just fun and spice and character base, which I did enjoy. It's what I needed at the time, so 4 stars. Then I read The Coworker by Frida McFadden. This is the millionth Frida McFadden book I've read at this point. I don't even know. This follows coworkers. Yeah. Yep, you guessed it. You guessed it. I don't want to tell you too much because I feel like with thrillers you should kind of go in blindly, but it just says here, 2 women, an office filled with secrets, 1 terrible crime that can't be taken back. I will leave you with that. Okay, I have said before that I love Frida McFadden. I feel like I lied because I love The Housemaid, I love The Inmate, I love The Housemaid's Secret, and I love Never Lie. Never Lie is my favorite Frida McFadden book. If you're gonna read any, it should be that one. But after those 4, I don't love any of the other ones. I feel like with Frida McFadden, the first one you read is the one you're really impressed by, and then the more you read by her, the more repetitive it gets, and the more the plot twists start becoming very predictable, which is what I didn't love about this one. Like, the story was good. I was having a good time with the characters and getting to know what was going on, but I already knew exactly what was going to happen at the end. It was just more of a fun book. It wasn't a thriller, you know? But I really liked the characters and the story was like a fun, spooky vibe. It kind of reminded me of Verity. You know, if you like Verity by Colleen Hoover, I feel like you might like this one. It was a 3 star. It was fun. It just wasn't everything I wanted out of this book. A little disappointing. And lastly, I don't have this book to hold with me right now, but I own it. I own it, don't worry. This is one of my favorite books of all time now. Like, this has skyrocketed to one of my favorites. If you're gonna read any in this video, please make it this one. It's For the Fans by Nyla K. This is an MM stepbrother romance. Now listen, I know that when I say stepbrothers, you're gonna be like, oh my God, Larry, why are you reading about stepbrothers? I know, but they didn't know each other when they were younger, so I feel like that's what made it okay to me. If you knew each other when you were like 5 years old, I can't vibe with romance. But they met when they were already going to college, you know? So they're stepbrothers, but not really. They didn't even live together or anything like that. You know? If you read it, you'll get me. Anyway, this follows Kai and Avi. It's dual POV. Again, they're stepbrothers. They hate each other. It's enemies to lovers. It's MM. It's spicy. This is one of the spiciest books I've read so far. And I've read a lot of spicy books, but this, like, It's like every page something was happening, and yet I wasn't bored of the spice. Like, the spice was amazing. The plot was so good. It went so much deeper than I thought it was gonna go. This book is literally 500 pages and I wanted more. By the end I was like, oh, where's the rest? Like, I can read about these characters forever because the characters are so good. The plot was so good. It was so emotional. I teared up. Oh my God, please read it. Oh my God, please read it. 5 stars. 5 stars. I don't give out 5 stars often, okay? But this is a 5-star. This and God of Malice have been my 2 5 stars this month. I regret nothing. I adore this fucking book. Please read it. Search of trigger warnings, but please, please, please do yourself a favor and read it. I'm pretty sure it's on Kindle Unlimited too. So those are all the books I read this month, my beautiful shoddy bays. And by this month, I definitely mean August. Let's pretend we're still in August, okay? August did not slip away like a bottle of wine. It in fact stayed like a bottle of water on your nightstand. You know how you never throw those out? I thought that was funny. Those are all the books I read. For the fans in God of Malice, please read those. Other than that, do whatever you want. Have such a good day. I love you so much. I need to get up off the floor because my leg is literally falling asleep. Okay, I love you, bye.